Hey guys, and welcome to part 2 of my Q&A for 5,000 subscribers. This is going to be the answers part where I answer your questions from the previous episode that you left behind in the comments section. If your question isn't answered directly in this video, that means it was a very similar question to somebody else's, and I am basically already answering it in the video, just not directed directly to you. Or it is a simple yes or no question, in which I can just answer you in the comments yes or no. But getting straight into it, we have our first question from Ethan Davies, and he asks, how did you find Trove and how long have you been playing? So I found out about Trove from Rift. I played Rift, and when you're subscribed to their newsletter, they send you the promotional emails, and you guys probably get them when you sign up to Trove as well. And basically, when I was playing Rift, I got an email for a game called Trove. It looked exactly like Cube World, and I liked Cube World, and I hated how Cube World was left behind. So I decided, why not try Trove? It was only 25 bucks to buy into the alpha, and that's when I started. I think that was around April 2014. I think it officially came out in December of 2013, but it wasn't available for the public. It was basically, you know, friends, family, or people being invited specifically, and I think it was April 2014 where I got the email, which was pretty much day one alpha for the public, which you can buy in. Of course, it was still closed alpha, it just wasn't, you know, like YouTuber alpha, if you want to call it like that. So I don't have the email anymore, but if I remember correctly, it was April 2014. The next question comes from Turtlecraft Pixels. He asks, can you show gear for classes so I can stop making the wrong things? So, yes, I will be making updated guides for every class in the game, including the new Revenant coming out, and it will include the gear, what to get on all gear slots, as well as the new emblems and flasks, if you guys are worried about that. So those should be coming out pretty soon. I think I'm going to be doing more than just one guide a week, because it'll take forever to get more than... it'll take at least like 3 months just to get the class guides out, and I still have a bunch more guides if I just do them once a week. So look forward to them pretty soon. I do have a couple guides before them, but again, they will be coming out very, very soon. The next question comes from GT Gaming, as well as probably like 20 or 30 other comments, which were basically the same thing. And they ask, what method do you use making Flux? So the first thing that I did to make Flux was I farmed Radiant Shards for the double Radiant Shard week. I made about 1 million to 1.4 million. I made 1 million in that week, and I saved 100,000 that I sold for 400k just recently. And I've been using that 1.4 million to flip, and I am at around 3.6 million to this day. So basically, that's how I've been farming Flux. I've never farmed Flux before in my entire Trove career. For the whole 1.5 years that I've been playing Trove, I've never ever farmed for Flux. I would just farm for the materials that I would need. Say if I was going to level up rune crafting, I would just farm the materials exactly that I needed for rune crafting. I never farmed Flux. So it's only, you know, it was just from that Radiant Shards and then flipping. And I get another question kind of similar to this, in which they ask for a flipping guide, and that I will be making 100% starting next week. Every Wednesday, I'm going to do a new series with a fresh account called 1 to 1 million Flux. Obviously, I'm going to have like 10 Flux or something, because you can't, there's nothing on the marketplace for just one Flux, I don't think. But it's the same general idea. I'm going to start with right after the tutorial, you have to hit Master Rank 10 to use the marketplace. Once I hit Master Rank 10, I will be flipping, and I will show you guys the different items that I use to flip, and I will show you exactly how I make all of my Flux that way. The next question comes from Richard Barani. He asks, can you make more top 10 vids? Example, top 10 worst class, top 10 costumes. In relation to the costume, I don't really make those types of videos. I make guides and things that will be beneficial to other players. I don't really do opinionated videos. If anything, the patch notes are as opinionated as I will get on my YouTube channel. They don't really help anybody, they just show what I like. As for the top worst classes, I'm going to be doing the opposite of that. I'm going to be making a new top list for classes. However, it's going to include all 13 classes, including the new Revenant, in terms of DPS, and then I'll make another list in terms of tankiness, because you're either going to play for DPS or you're going to play for tankiness. You don't want to be in between, because there's no point. You either want to do a lot of damage or you want to tank a lot of damage. And that will be coming out very soon. That is one of my guides that I have planned for the very near future, so look forward to that. It will list the classes in order in both DPS and tankiness once again. The next question comes from Squared Sickle, and he asks, most favorite class and what is the top 3 helpful classes? My most favorite class is the Tomb Raiser, and the 3 helpful classes, I'm going to assume you mean what classes benefit the other classes the most, and I'm going to exclude DPS, because obviously the Lunar Lancer is the most beneficial class besides the Ice Age, because he does the most damage straight up, and obviously killing something faster means you're helping the group faster, or the most. But just pure helping others out besides yourself, it would go Ice Age, obviously, because the 6 times damage given to all 8 players, that is obviously, nothing can beat it in the entire game. Nothing will ever come out that can beat it because it's too powerful, unless they want to completely, like, negate the point of DPS. The second one would be Kenny Barbarian, because he offers health regen to your entire party, basically keeping them alive and keeping the melee alive. And the final one, which is pretty much the only other class that benefits any other class, would be the Boom Ranger, again because he has that 1 to 4 chance with his ultimate to give some health regaining bubbles. The Neon Ninja and the Shadow Hunter do not benefit the other party in terms of Shadow Towers, because if you're not going to kill a mob in 10 seconds, it's going to be a boss and you can't stun or root bosses. So the Neon Ninja and the Shadow Hunter do not benefit the other classes at all, so you can't really count them in if you want to say, well, the Neon Ninja can root instead of just giving health. It doesn't matter, because if you're gonna root the mob, it's gonna die in 10 seconds anyways. So yes, those are the top 3. Next question comes from Zwahil. He asks, how do you get qubits fast? Honestly, I wasn't going to answer this question, however, I still do get it a lot, and there's only 3 ways you can ever get qubits in this game. The first way is for your initial qubits quest, your golden threads, which offer about 6,000 qubits, I think, in total, maybe more than that. But that is the only time you can ever get qubits besides your daily bar. You can get them through mastery, however, that is a very, very small amount of qubits. So qubits are supposed to be a daily currency. You can't get them past 500 a day or 1,000 a day for weekends. There's no way you can farm them. There's no way you can buy them. It is simple. You just get them once a day, and that is pretty much the only way you can do that. The next question comes from FeldGamer3, and he asks, why do you think Tron are bad developers? Honestly, I'm going to be making an entire video about this pretty soon, I think, because I have been getting a lot of people asking me to do this type of video because they agree about my opinions of Tryon. They just want to know my exact reasoning, because I always try to shy away from it in my videos to try and keep them a little bit more positive. So I'll be making a video dedicated to it, to, you know, you're going into that video knowing it's going to be a little negative, so I don't have to really shy away from it anymore. So I will be doing a full video on that if you want to know the exact reasoning, but just a basic reasoning. Compared to other companies, it is a bad company. You can only know something is bad when it is compared to something that is better. That is the only, that is the definition of bad. It has to be worse than something else. So compared to all the other video games that I've played and all the other developers that I have followed, it is probably the worst development team that I have seen. Again, I'll go into specific details with, you know, proof, you know, reasonings behind why I say that in a specific video. I don't want to make this video go on for too long just talking about this, because it is a very, very, very discussed topic. The next question comes from Michael Reynolds. He asks, what games do you play besides Trove? By the way, love your vids, have been watching since 50 subs. Well, thank you, man. You are one of the few before Trove even came out, if you're from 50 subs, because that was, you know, 6 months ago. But what games do I play besides Trove? That would be mostly H1Z1 and Guild Wars 2. I do a lot of H1Z1 BR. That used to be the game that I only streamed, but this is only of recent, of course. And pretty much Guild Wars 2 is the only other game that I play. I pretty much can't play any game because Trove takes up a lot of my time. I have to do my videos plus my streams. So basically, as of, you know, a few months, I've only been playing those 2 games in my spare time. Before I played, you know, a lot of WoW, obviously, RuneScape, Ark, pretty much any game you could think of, I played a lot of it. I have 300 games in my Steam list, so that shows how many games I have played. But just speaking recently, again, just H1Z1 and Guild Wars 2. Next question comes from Peanut, and he asks, which class do you think has the best ultimate, and which class has the worst? Well, I don't have to really think about it, because there is a guaranteed best and a guaranteed worst, statistical-wise and, you know, just everything-wise. So the best, obviously, is the Ice Age. He gives 6 times damage to all 8 people in your party. That is obviously unbeatable DPS, no matter what. And the worst would be the Neon Ninja, once again because you can't root bosses. So the point of the ultimate for the Neon Ninja is that he extends the root time, and the only mobs you can root are gonna die in 10 seconds, no matter what. If you have a Lunar Lancer with Sure Strike, they just swing twice and an entire pack is dead. So the Neon Ninja doesn't offer any benefits whatsoever. It only extends the root time, plus it gives you range, which you don't need that range because it then takes away your shurikens, which is the only damage that you deal on a Neon Ninja in the first place. So the Neon Ninja's ultimately reduces your DPS rather than buffs it, which is the only class in the game that it actually does that. Next question from Tongue C Sniper. He asks, what is the program you use to record Trove? I get this question asked a lot. I don't use software to record Trove. I have a dedicated hardware for the capture card. I use an Elgato HD60, and that is how I record my beautiful 1080p 60 FPS because it doesn't use my computer's resources. It is a dedicated hardware used for recording. Next question comes from Meme Revolver MK0. He asks, if Trove shuts down due to lack of players, what's your backup plans? So the first thing, Trove will not be shutting down. You'll never see a game ever shut down, especially due to lack of players, because no matter if a game has 1 player or 0 players, the game will not shut down. That's not how games work. They are a company. They will always keep Trove up and running, especially, even though they're a very poor MMO, 3,000 players compared to, 5 million players from most other MMOs, it's still 3,000 players paying them money frequently to keep them alive. As far as a backup plan, I don't really have a backup plan because this isn't like, I didn't expect this to be my job. Of course, I diversify in the games that I play. I have Clash of Clans and Sky Saga being 2 main series on my channel as well. But as a backup plan, I would just get a real job if you're talking in terms of money. But again, I don't look for money when I do this. This is for the enjoyment. So I will always keep my YouTube channel alive. But yes, if I have to get a job, I would just have to reduce the videos to once a week or twice a week. I would never stop actually uploading videos. And yeah, you don't have to worry about the game ever shutting down because that won't happen. So there'll always be Trove content, even if I do have to make 2 videos a week. It'll be 2 Trove videos a week. So yes. Next question from Will O'Crisp. He asks, how do you activate damage numbers? People say it is default, but it doesn't appear in my game. I have searched everywhere. Well, technically it is default. However, there is a bug. I get this question asked a lot because new people come in and it is on by default. However, you have to go into your settings. So you press escape, you go to settings, you go to your miscellaneous tab, and it will be the second checkbox. It'll say show combat text, and it will be checked because it is checked by default. However, it is not on by default. You have to uncheck it and recheck it to get your damage numbers to pop up. It's a bug. They tried fixing, or they tried making it default on, but all they did was check the box for you, and they didn't actually turn the combat text on. So it is kind of like a misinformation from the developers. So technically, the checkbox is checked, but it's not on. So you have to actually uncheck it and check it to turn it on. So hopefully everyone knows how to do it now. And finally, the last question is from Tom K Games. He asks, hi Underrated, I'm glad to be a member of Hidden Kings and congrats on 5K. Thank you very much. Any tips on being a Trove YouTuber or a YouTuber in general? So there's not really tips you can give for YouTube because YouTube is what you want to make it to be. If you want to help people, you make guides. If you want to be entertaining, you be entertaining. It all depends on how you want to be a YouTuber. I can't tell you how to be a YouTuber because YouTube is what you make out of it. The thing that got me into YouTube, at least I can tell you like my background on why I even started making videos in the first place, is that I noticed that I was an above average player in the games that I played. I was in a top 200 guild in WoW, and that is actually a very low ranking. However, I was ranking in the top 10 in terms of world DPS, so I knew, something here is, it's clicking. I'm in tier 14 gear in tier 15 content with everyone else in tier 15 gear, and I'm still out damaging them. It's not to be cocky, it's not to be, ill intent in any way, shape, or form. It is just, you notice these things, you would, when you're an above average player, and I thought, if I'm doing this and people aren't, that are in a top 200 guild, these are great players, and they still can't, I'm still out damaging them. Again, no like ill intent towards them. It's that I wanted to help them. So I started doing YouTube because I thought I can take the things that I know, because obviously it's working and I can help other players with it. That's why I stick to statistical videos, factual videos. I don't do opinionated videos because I'm here to help people. So that's what I focus on. I focus on helping people first. I don't put anything else before that. My videos are to help. Of course, I do Let's Play series, which aren't really helpful, but they do show, you know, my progress towards what I do in the guides. So basically, just do what you want. Don't think about the other way people are doing YouTube. People will notice if you're copying somebody. People will notice if you're not enjoying it. So make sure you enjoy the content that you're creating, and make sure you are enjoying the way you're creating the videos. If you want to be entertaining, be entertaining. If you want to help people, stuff like that. I can't really just say do this and you'll get viewers. Never expect viewers ever in your entire YouTube career, because most of the time you will not get viewers. It took me almost a year. It took me about 7 months actually to get anywhere near what I'm getting now. So yes, always keep that in mind. Don't ever get discouraged. I streamed for a year with 0 viewers. I spent a year talking to myself with nobody watching me, and I stuck through it. I never gave up, and now I have a very large audience compared to 0 viewers. So yes, just I guess my top tip would be never to get discouraged, as well as be who you want to be on YouTube. If you want to even create a character, just be that character and stick with it. And yes, that will be the last question for this Q&A. Again, thank you guys very much for the questions. We're just going to end it off right here because this video is like 16 minutes long. So, remember, if you guys need help with anything and you want me to make a guide about it, leave it in the comments below. But besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.